All right. About to make a sales call to a lead that came in that didn't set an appointment. Reached out to him via email to get a set appointment. He said, go ahead and call back right now. So here we go. See how it goes. I'm going to keep it off speaker so we don't get his name violating privacy or like that. As soon as we get that out of the way, I will speakerphone it for you.
As you know, nobody's going to identify something. They never get through the agent.
Right. How's is this an okay time for you to talk?
Sure.
Awesome. So what made you reach out to me? How'd you hear about us?
I'm not 100% sure. I think there was another State Farm agent that might have seen it, or I've seen it on Facebook or someplace. But I'm trying to change my whole marketing and trying to increase my sales for this next year. And I saw someplace that's what the heck.
Right. How long have you been an agent at State Farm?
36 years.
Oh wow. Okay. And what state are you in?
Illinois.
Illinois. Okay. And you put your book size between 1 and 5 million. Is that correct?
Something like that. I've got like 2,000 auto policies, but I have no idea what that means. So.
Oh, okay. You don't know your annual recurring premium? Oh, really? Isn't that how you're paid, though? Is a percentage of premium?
Correct, but never paid attention. I never paid attention to it the whole time. Just paychecks come, commissions come.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm bad about it myself. That's why I hired a team of CPAs to just send me a P&L and I'll just look at it. I need to get better about it, but you get busy and you work. I bet it's probably bigger than that, but okay. So tell me what's been working for you so far?
Nothing at this point.
Okay.
I used to sell about 100 to 150 amps a month. I'm down to about 20 or 30 because it's almost like semi-retired. I'm tired of being semi-retired. I want to, get involved doing something again.
Right. Okay. How big's your team?
Right now, I used to have 7. I'm down to just me and my office manager, to be quite honest.
Okay.
Because I was kind of going to go semi-retired and
yeah.
It's not fun.
So, are you doing all the selling then, and she's just servicing primarily?
If I was doing all the selling, she's me, yeah. But we're not too much selling it. That's just, answering people call up, say, I want to buy something.
Okay, more retention and just referrals and stuff like that.
Just retention, just being kind of even in them. It's just not as fun as when you're actively selling it. I've got a couple ideas what I want to do, as far as going with like Sales Genie, getting some stuff there, following up on leads, going with Salesforce, doing something else. Mm-hmm. I'm looking around and trying to figure out what I want to set up for this upcoming year at that point, and how I want to proceed.
Okay. Have you done much on social media or through the internet or anything like that?
And that's probably what caught my eye. The only thing I've ever done on social media is like, 5 years back, my kids signed me up on Facebook. I look on Facebook once in a while. I realize, with Facebook, Twitter, Lincoln, and all these other things, I somehow got to get involved. And State Farm encourages this, and I haven't really gone through. I've gone through State Farm's program, which allows me to get on there, but I haven't followed it up. I haven't set up anything. I haven't, found any friends. I haven't set up some commercial stuff on Facebook. And then as I sit there and look at it, I realize that people, 35, 30 and under, they live on those stuff. Okay.
Oh yeah.
So I'm trying to get into that market.
Awesome. When are you looking to implement something for into your marketing plan?
Probably as soon as I can find a reasonable plan and do it at that point. I'm just right now investigating the options at that point.
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to can't think of it. But there's one thing I was looking at, like an automated system that downloads leads from, say, like Sales Genie, they'll load them in here, set it up on a automatic dial campaign and such, and all that kind of stuff. I was looking into that. I'm looking at about anything I can think of. I'm trying to figure out what's the best or a combination of what's best or least best for my personality. Let's put it that way, and go from there. And then if I need to, I'll hire some additional people, and go from there.
So what are your goals for 2015? I mean, you've kind of coasted for a while, semi-retired, and you're ready to get back in the game and turn things up. You're doing about 20 new business apps a month. Where are you trying to go for 2015?
I'd eventually, by the end of 2015, like to get up to 80 to 100 again a month, and then I'd be satisfied.
Okay. So you're probably going to look at adding to the team as well.
Is a sales client to the team.
Awesome. What kind of budget have you set aside for 2015's marketing plan?
Nothing.
Yeah.
I have no idea what the cost of these various programs are, so I'm trying to find out what the
Yeah, I mean, I've got programs that range from $20 to $5,000. So I'm just trying to get a feel for, what your level of comfort is.
5,000 is not going to squeeze in the budget at this point.
Sure.
Somewhat, less at that point. It depends on what the returns are.
Yeah.
If you get, if I can make if I start out with something, more minimal at that point, then I see a rate of return, I'll increase.
Yeah.
If I see it's not working,
Absolutely.
The agents or the producers, personality and touch at that point. And I don't have a problem with technology. I just have a problem of, getting motivated to pass here. And I'm kind of. Was that you or me?
It was me. I've got text and emails coming through.
Okay. It sounded like Harpo Marx, squeaking horn on my end.
So have you ever been part of a coaching program or a mentor program, anything like that in past 36 years?
I've been the mentor.
Oh, okay.
And I've been the coach in the past. But again, I just backed off for like the last 5 to 10 years. And it's
Sure.
just, I got the friends that are, retiring. They're unhappy retiring, and I'm never going to retire. So I figure, well, what do you got to do?
Yeah.
You got to get active and make it fun again. I enjoy selling. So
Where are you in relation to the Chicago metro area?
Chicago metro area?
Yeah.
We're in the northwest suburbs, probably about halfway between Chicago and the Wisconsin border.
Okay. Very good. Well, we've got two options that may work for you. Really just depends on what you're looking to do and the amount of time and money that you're wanting to invest to reach your goals. Well, I guess 3, depending on how quickly you want to act. We've got one that starts next week, but that's the last class of the year, and then we are working toward January. So at that point, we're going to dwindle down to 2 options. But we'll just look at January's options for now, unless you say you want to start next week. But we've got.
What I was hoping is you had like a web bar or something, or something, and listen to see what you guys do. I have no idea what you do or what your marketing or what your plans are or what your.
Right.
I know nothing about you other than somebody kind of recommended. I really don't remember who.
Yeah.
And do you have State Farm agents in this area or anybody State Farm agents at all?
Yeah, we've worked with a guy in Chicago there by the name of John Skopic, brand new agent when he came on board with us. He's since been through our 90-day program. When he came on board, he was doing about 50 to 52 apps. By the end of the 90 days, he was at 156 app, debuted top 6, on track for ambassador this year. Just doing really, really good things, and it's exciting to watch him go.
I know something about State Farm when you talk to somebody, because there's not many people who use the word ambassador.
Well, I actually used to work at State Farm when I started my insurance career. I was a team member in Missouri for a TICA agent, and decided I really liked it. And at that time we had AFEs, and talked to my AFE about joining the aspirant program, and she, discovered that I really wanted to get back to my hometown. I was in college at the time at the University of Missouri and wanted to get back to my hometown in Dallas. And she said, Texas is a completely different animal. It's one of those exception states. All the rules apply except Texas, California, Louisiana, and Florida. So you really want to go down there and learn that market first before you open up and really get acclimated with the way things work. And so I went down to Texas, worked for a 26-year veteran, very large office, had 6 producers, and got to see sort of what it was like on that end of the deal. So I worked at the TICA level and saw the stresses that they go through, and then worked with the 26-year vet and saw what that environment was like and what it looks like when you're doing 150 to 200 apps a month from referrals alone. And just made a conscious business decision as I got further along through the aspirant program that wasn't a good fit for me at the timing. There was talks of pulling out of the homeowners market because the loss ratio was so extremely high for a while. And I know they did that back in the 90s in Texas before. There's a lot of subjective matters. The new contract is really tough, really geared toward financial services and life. And, if I wanted to do that, I figured I'd go work at Edward Jones. I didn't want to be a financial advisor. I wanted to be an insurance agent. Assurant was going down the tubes, all the healthcare reforms, just really turbulent times. So I decided to go and open start my book at Liberty Mutual. I went and did that and had great success and climbed the ranks there. I was getting paid as a mentor and a consultant there, and then ultimately saw the void in the marketplace. Companies weren't teaching agents how to prospect, weren't teaching them how to market. They're still going through the same programs and still teaching the same old archaic ways of generating business today that they were in 2007 and 8. And obviously the market has completely changed, completely different. Acquiring customers is completely different. And if you're not relevant online, you're going to have an extremely difficult time generating high volume new business. So I developed a program, launched it, and been coaching agents across the country from every major carrier since. I worked with a lot of State Farm agents just because I know the business model well. I know their struggle, I know our team members, I know the team members' mindset, I know the agent's mindset. So we got a 90-day program that really maps out week by week to build out a massive referral-based business, as well as online lead generating through social media, through email campaigns to revive old lists. Somebody like you, I don't know if you have all the old leads or all your quoted not sold list. I'm assuming you've got an abundance of contacts in your database. But through the courses that I've taken through copywriting and email campaigns and email strategies, being able to revive lists, I make a lot of money in my inbox getting people to respond to emails. People fill out my leads. I get 30, 40 leads a day right now for my program. And obviously not everybody gets on the phone. I don't get an opportunity to talk to everybody, but I build a massive email list. I think this year alone, I've generated 8,000 leads, and, I'd send out an email and, generate more to eventually get everybody on the phone and revive those old folks. Same strategies.
How did you find your program? How compliant with State Farm is it?
In terms of, is State Farm going to promote it? No, I haven't taken those steps.
State Farm going to yell at me.
I've not had anybody that was asked for a refund or told they can no longer participate in the program. In fact, I've had a sales leader out in Illinois. I can't remember. I'd have to look at her name, but I had a sales leader hire me to get on a sales call for all the agents that were under her 1 week, and 2 or 3 of them signed up for the program. So do I have the stamp of approval? No. Am I going to advocate that you do anything that will violate your contract? No. But each week we have a different call. We go over a variety of topics from, if you go to, just drop you a quick link, agencyalliancemastermind.com, you will see our outline. For the 90-day program that we run, it's just on that website, there's a little tab that says 90-day challenge, and gives you a little bit of my background, tells you a little bit about what I was doing. But we cover over the 90 days, social media branding strategies, lead generation strategies on social media, how to attract top real estate agent and mortgage agents for mortgage loan officers for referrals and leads in that industry, generating warm referrals from strategic partners like CPAs, accountants, financial advisors, investors, effective networking strategies, Facebook marketing, LinkedIn strategies, team building strategies. How I built my team is really very different than the way most agents build a team. We were producing at such high levels that sort of had an assembly line type setup rather than your typical run a book within a book type of mindset that most people hire team members on. Go over streamlined sales process, automated follow-up processes, how to revive those old lists with effective email strategies, video marketing, and more. So each week we have a different topic. It's about an hour-long call, and then we have action steps with each week. So we say, here's the content for this week, here's the knowledge, and then here's what to do with it. Here's the step-by-step, here's what you need to go do each and every week to implement this information in order to put it into practice. And then over the 90 days, you build out the entire marketing funnel, everything from organic strategies to, like I said, from LinkedIn to Twitter to Facebook, to your personal page, your business page, to networking and local referral-based partners. We don't dump it all on you at once just because it's too much. So we break it up week by week, and by the end of the deal, it should be a well-oiled lead.
Not my current customers. It's actually bringing in new leads at that point.
Oh, right. Yes, correct. But we.
Yeah, because I'm pretty much multi-line most of my customers. If I have to go just to them again.
No, not your current customer. But surely you've got people that you've quoted and not sold, right?
Of course.
Yeah. So the first week, what we do is we knock out that low-hanging fruit with some of our emails and follow-ups and stuff like that. We teach you that right off the bat, so that you can go and implement those and knock out a bunch of low-hanging fruit that's just sitting there that you just needed the right copy to get in front of them to get them to take action.
I haven't saved it or I can't find it easily. I'm sure it's there, but I have no idea where it's at anymore with State Farm. They got goofy programs, but basically, let's say let's just make me a brand new agent, okay?
Yeah.
And I'm coming to you for some help at that point, and I want to get some new leads. I want to get some fresh blood in here. Yeah, unfortunately, I got too many of my clients are getting too old, and they're either moving to Arizona or dropping dead on me, and I got to replace them. That's why I'm calling you.
Right. Yeah.
At that point, and I discovered that most of the younger people, it's like you say, they're on their smartphones all the time. They're doing this, they're doing that, and I have my kids that age, and it just comes to me that I got to change my marketing strategy. I can't pick up the phone and say, hey, my name's Cliff Babby. I'm a State Farm agent here in the area. I'm just calling to see if I can give you a competitive quote on, and next time your auto insurance comes up, take it through to them. I did that for thousands of times when I first started.
Oh, yeah.
That's where I got all my leads and built my business from.
Well, and that's the thing is, 12 AT&T survey showed that 86% of phone calls go unanswered. People just don't answer the phone anymore. Very few people have home phones, which that's most of the leads that you're going to buy are going to be folks with home phones, because most cell phones are on the do not call list, and it's just a really ineffective approach. I could cold call. I could have my sales team hop on the phones and go to your website, type in a zip code, and I could say just start pounding away and call State Farm agents, introduce yourself, and eventually somebody's going to want to hear what you have to say. Instead, the more effective way to market is to generate funnels and generate drive traffic to your posts or to your website or to your link or whatever it is, wherever you're trying to send them, to your video, and have people identify themselves as somebody who wants to talk to you. Have Cliff raise his hand and say, Sean, I want to talk to you. I'm interested in what you have to say. Now, every time we get on the phone, it's not to prospect, it's to close. One of two things is going to happen on this phone call. You're either going to do business with me or you're not, and I'm going to hop on the phone with the next guy, and we're going to either close him or move on. But the point is that every single time I get on the phone, I have an opportunity to close. I don't have to go through this prospecting and see if it's something you're interested in. I already know you are. You've already said so. You filled out the form, you saw whatever you saw, and here you are. And I use that same method through my insurance business. I let my lead generation strategies, my prospecting methods work around the clock for me. Overnight, when I woke up this morning, I had 37 leads. It just so happens that my prospects are insurance agents, but the same premise, the same universal truths apply to finding people who are generating insurance clients, people who need life insurance, home insurance, auto insurance, whatever the case is, 401k rollovers. my prospecting works for me, and then all I have to do is get up in the morning and pick up the phone and call the people who said they want to talk to me. Same thing that we're going to teach you guys. Now that program, the last time that that's going to be run is next week. We start on Wednesday, and what we're doing from there is we're taking that program and we're going to set it into a module-based training. So you buy it. Right now, you get the weekly calls with us to get the content every Monday, and then every Thursday we have a coaching call, which I just got off of. We have everybody get on, and that's where you have an opportunity to ask any questions. We give you some new content, new ideas, ways to implement the program, and then we open it up for Q&A. People ask questions, they help each other, say, hey, has anybody come across this? What do you guys think? And agents from around the country get on and they help each other. Myself and my national sales trainer are on that call every week, and we're there to help you. And then you also have access to Jonathan, who's the national sales trainer, via email or Facebook or whatever. Post in the group if you have any questions throughout the 90 days. The way it's going to differ moving forward in January, that's going to be a digital program. It's going to be a module-based training. You get a username and a password. You'll get all the content there, all the steps, everything that you would get otherwise. You just don't get the access to myself or Jonathan. Program right now, as it stands with the coaching, is $1,500 for the 90 days. One-time fee, or it can be broken up into 3 payments over the course of the 3 months at $650 a month. So it ends up being about $1,950 doing it the payment route. In January, that program is going to be $990, and you get unlimited lifetime access, and you have the program. You can watch it as many times as you want. You can hire new team members, have them watch that, turn it into your training program, have them using the same thing that you're using. And then you can have the option then to purchase coaching sessions with myself and Jonathan in blocks of 5 sessions at a time. So you could buy the program and say, hey, I had some questions. Let me buy 5 sessions. They're $100 a session, so $499 for 5 sessions. And you can have us coach you that way. The other way is going to be to get the weekly coaching. We've changed the content up. We've taken it from a 12-week program to an 8-week program. The 12 weeks it's very well-rounded in terms of we're giving everything from sales processes to lead generation. We've got a lot of organic stuff using groups without paid ads. We're talking about how to network in your community. Just a really well-rounded foundational program. The 8 weeks is going to be very intense on the technical side in terms of understanding how to drive traffic through social media, how to run autoresponder email campaigns, how to run various Facebook pages to generate leads, how to look at the back-end analytics and click-through ratios, and understanding how to dissect the performance of an ad, a lot of paid ad strategies, and just a much more technical group. We're only going to allow 5 to 8 people per session, and that is going to be a $2,500 program for the 8 weeks.
Yeah,
It can either.
I'd like to stretch it out. Okay, you're talking about, so the other one's a 12-week program?
It is.
You know, after the 12 weeks, what's available for at that point?
Yeah, we have what's called our Agency Alliance Alumni, and that's everybody who's been through our program and wants to stay connected. So through the course of this year alone, we've had to change our content for the 90 days. I think 3 times we've changed it now because there's been new releases, new updates, new things have come out. Facebook has changed the way things work. It's ever changing, and we stay on top of it, and we update the program as those new rollouts come out. So once we lock this down and turn it into a digital product, it's just going to be stagnant. It's going to be on information as of November of 2014. So a year from now, it's going to be fairly old information. Still going to be good, still going to be relevant. It's going to be a little bit outdated. There's going to be some changes that you won't know about. Through the alumni, though, once you go through the program, you stay connected. You're invited to each of our weekly coaching calls that we do with our mastermind members. You're allowed to get on that. And then as we get new information and new updates, those are released back to the alumni group. That's just a $50 a month monthly deal. You can stay in for 1 month or 15 months. You just, when you are done with the group, you just stop paying and go on about your business. But that's a way to stay connected. And so we've got, I don't know, about 60 or 70 agents that are in there right now who stay connected with each other, share ideas. They hop on the weekly calls, and then we do a once monthly call with those guys just the alumni guys to help them out and talk with them and see what they've got going on.
So how soon do you actually see production or kind of results at that point?
Week 1. I mean, you'll, like I said, with that very first week, we'll give you some strategies to go out and implement. And I think our biggest success in the first week was a gentleman at Liberty Mutual generated 24 new business policies in the first week with 2 of our homework strategies.
Now, when you're setting up the program itself at that point, does it go after just homeowners? Does it go after autos? Does it go after all personal lines? Can I go after commercial lines too? Or
yeah, we've got strategies that we share to go after all of it. We've got auto, home, life, commercial, and really on those.
Everything, or are you retaining just like home and auto first and then expanding?
No, we've got individual. Yeah, we've got individual strategies for each line. And on the coaching calls, you're able to customize the program. If there's something that you heard and you wanted to know how you could implement and expand to do something specific, you can ask for our help and say, hey, I was thinking about this, or I want to do this. Is there a strategy that you guys have that might work? And we'll help you, customize the program to fit your specific needs, because we know that there's agents from all walks of life that come through our program at any one time. The way we've got it set up now, we allow 20 to 25 agents in a group, and we've got brand new agents that are a couple days in. We've got agents that are 20, 30 years in. We've got agents that are in New York, and we've got agents that are in Idaho. And obviously there's very different markets. So what we teach is the foundational universal truths of marketing and successful social media branding and lead generation, as well as the networking locally and how to build that out and capitalize and really bring exponential value to your local community in ways that you probably haven't thought of before. And then we can customize that one-on-one on what works in New York may be different than what's going to work in Idaho. Right. So
it'd be some kind of social media, contact. The leads will show up here. I will just contact them at that point. It's not me calling anybody and saying, hey, I'd like to give you a quote. It'd be me calling and say, hey, let's review your insurance needs at that point.
Right. Any cold reach out that I do is just via Facebook message. If I'm going to reach out to somebody, I just send them a message.
I guess the direction I'm going to go is do you have any, could you possibly send me a name of a couple of referrals at that point that I could talk to? And
I think we've got some listed on our website.
And if they turn out to be enthusiastic, or if it sounds good, or I'll probably even call you back. I'd like to get started as quickly as possible, and I would just pay the amount up front.
Yeah, there's a guy, Mike McCormick, that's on our testimonials page. He's over in Long Island, New York. See, another State Farmer that I can think of would be somebody that's been through fairly recently. Let me look at my groups here. I've got 60 or 80 active clients at any one time, so it's hard to remember everybody individually. Let's see. Oh, another one would be Karina Hernandez. She's in Dallas, Texas. She's had some.
Do you have a testimonial page or not?
No, she's not on there.
She's in Dallas, Texas.
Plano, Texas. Yeah, suburb of Dallas. Reach out to those guys.
Yeah, I'd probably give Mike a call. Come up at that point and see how he's in New York, though. It's the only thing I need to know is what state it is.
And in fact, Mike went through the 90-day program, and he just signed up to go again in January with our new structure. So he'll be in that class.
Why would he sign up to go with the new one again, as opposed to just being an alumni?
Because the new one, the alumni, you just get on the strategy session calls, but they won't be on the mastermind calls with that group. So there's 2 separate calls. There's 2 calls weekly.
All through social media and such, you're telling me at that point?
Yeah, so the advanced 8-week course, we're gonna, the way that our program, the 90 days is structured, is it starts out with your sales processes and your current database, and then we move into local community lead generation, local stuff. Then we move to organic social media strategies, and then we move into paid social media strategies. And so we just barely scratched the surface of the paid lead generation strategies in the last 2 or 3 weeks of the 90 days. And where this program picks up is really starting from the tail end. We don't cover any of the organic strategies or the basic stuff. It's a more advanced approach. The first week, we're going to give everybody the same knowledge and the foundation level of understanding the algorithms and edge ranking and how everything works and effective posting times and social media intelligence reports, stuff like that. Get everybody on that level, and then we're going to go directly into the paid lead generation strategies, building funnels, squeeze pages, email campaigns, click-through ratios, understanding customer analytics, looking at reports, so on and so forth, connecting autoresponders.
Okay, so let's assume that I'm totally neophyte at this, which I probably am. If I'm not, I've somehow got a link in account and never looked at it, do you guys help us get signed up on the Facebook, the business stuff, the LinkedIn,
everything is screen shared, and we do, one-on-one. I mean, it's all live on these 8-week calls, and so it'll be screen shared. I'll show you, point here, click there. We'll work with you guys individually on calls. It's such a smaller class because if, Mike wants to set up a lead pages 2 or 3 step funnel, then it might take some time to go through that with him, but I'm going to walk him through it and make sure it's built, help him with the copy, ask him what he's trying to do, look at the customer analytics, the targeting, so on and so forth, and get that funnel built out for him. And so we don't have time to do that for 20 people on a call. That's why we're going to take 5 or no more than 8 people to make sure that the calls don't last for 2 hours. We try to keep it at an hour, hour and a half per call, and everybody gets adequate time. Plus we get the time to deliver the new content and information. All the calls are always recorded, so you'll be able to, we'll drop a replay link and say, hey, here's this week's call, take a listen, whatever. So yeah, he's signed up again, so obviously he's happy with it. He went from averaging around 4 or 5 life policies a month to now he's doing probably 15 to 19 a month, and that was a big struggle for him as a TICA agent. He was really running low on his life numbers and needed some help there, so that's where we were able to help him. It's just a different approach. The results from that program, we always do an exit interview with everybody who goes through the program. And our average agent is seeing an increase between $3,000 and $3,700 a month in new business commissions from when they started the program 9 days prior. And that's just getting through the program. So they haven't even had time to implement the entire program for a month. They're just week by week adding to it. And they've already seen those kinds of results. From some of our top performers, like Mike, I think Mike was seeing, his exit interview, he expressed seeing an extra $5,000 a month in new business commissions from start to finish. The 8-week structure, we have not yet put anybody through it fully. I've got 2 farmers agents that are going through the same content that I took one-on-one back in October. We started with them. They're on their 5th week, and they're seeing right now at 4 weeks in an average of 10 to 15 new policies per week from the strategies that we're putting together. I'd say by the end of the program, by the end of the 8 weeks, they'll be generating probably 80 plus new policies a month after the 8-week program.
Here's my catch with this whole thing, Sean, okay? It sounds great, okay? Unfortunately, I've been around so long, it's always like, if it sounds too good to be true, it isn't. It sounds too good, and it's got me enthusiastic, and I'm saying, oh, geez, can you really produce those kind of numbers, okay, for a 12-week period, or 90-day period, and just kind of get it.
Yeah, the last 90 days. Yeah, starts on Monday. Well, all of them will be recorded, so you'll be able to watch the call at any time. And then each Thursday call is live. So if you miss a Thursday, then you just kind of miss the Thursday. No, we record some of them, but we really don't like to do that because what we found is that when we do that, we lowered the participation rate because there's like, I'll just catch it later. And we really want people on that call because that's where, that's where people can ask questions. And typically, if you have a question, somebody else probably has the question, they just didn't pipe up and ask it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a call-in. Yeah, it's not the webcast videos are on Mondays, and those are recorded, so you can watch them anytime, rewatch them as many times. The calls are all conference call on the phone, so you can just dial in. You get a password and just dial in. Right. You're listening to us. We'll start off, deliver some new content, something that we've learned that we want to be a tip or strategy on, and then we'll open the lines up for questions, sharing, discussion. Right. Yeah.
Strategy is it's almost like a homework type thing where I go and I do all these things for the, so we can have
Correct. Yeah. Each week we'll build on the week prior. It's not homework that you have to turn in. It's just, we call it homework, but it's really just action steps because a lot of times you go through programs and they give you great material, but then they don't give you any like action steps on what do I do? That's great, but how do I implement this? What do I do? What can I say? How can I?
How much extra time I need to commit to this program, do you think?
I would say, obviously, the hour on the content call, I would suggest making an hour out of your day or out of your week on the Thursday call to make that. And then I would say maybe another hour or two per week to implement the homework. And Yeah, but 2 hours for the calls each week. And I would say.
I'm just saying that the implementation would only take another hour. So I mean, the reason I'm saying it, I'm thinking I'd have to do like an hour a day or something. It's not doing an hour a day.
No, I don't think so. Once you start building up these deals, that's the great thing is you build it once and it keeps going. So, one of the strategies we teach is to build a group and to put, real estate agents and mortgage brokers in this group. And we teach you ways to deliver value and get them active in that group, sharing information and sort of masterminding within the group. And you're obviously the only insurance point of contact for all these potential referral sources. You set the group up once and you get people in there, and then you leverage them to invite other people into the group, and then it just starts running itself. We give you the content to post in the group to help them build their business and bring value into their business and teach them what we're teaching you. And once it's there, it just runs. It just goes. Once you've got a Facebook funnel, an ad that's running it, you send it out there and it runs. You don't have to do anything else with it. So a lot of this stuff is setting up the email, the autoresponders, or the campaign or whatever. It takes time to set it up, but once it's up, it's up. It goes. You just add people to it. Let's say Friday or Saturday. Yeah, correct. The other, like I said, the program will be condensed into a self-paced digital version that'll be available for $9.99 after this week that you can sign up for anytime. There's not going to be any structure to it. No. For the 12-week will be turned into a module-based program with no coaching. All the recorded calls, all the homework, drop it into a platform where you'll get a username and a password, and then you just log in and tell you week 1, week 2, week 3, all the way through. Here's what to do. You just don't get to talk to your job. Sign up, take it as you wish, go through it as many times as you wish. That'll be available after this November session starts. So about 2 weeks it'll be available.
Okay. I'm not totally confused, but I'm a little bit confused on what I can get or can't get. Colin, is there a number I can call you back, or Jason, or somebody else back tomorrow and get this either started, or?
Yeah, this is.
Get started, I'm gonna try to get in contact with somebody.
Yeah, this is my direct cell number, and it's also in the footer of my email.
Okay, and so I can stay after that. Is there any way besides Mike and Hernandez that you can send me any other agents, or just where they're at, so I can possibly talk to them?
Not really. I mean, you can peruse through my deal, my sellingwithsean.com, see if there's any other testimonials there. Yeah, I really try not to.
There, but it doesn't tell me where they're at. I mean, like I see Paul Edwards Liberty Mutual. To contact him, I have no idea where to look for Paul Edwards Liberty Mutual. Is he in New York? Is he in California? Is he, or
Yeah, just go to Liberty Mutual and Google them up, or type it in there and find an agent or what have you. I just prefer not to have my my clients become my sales force if I don't have to. I have a sales team that I pay 6 figures a year to, and have a sales assistant and myself. I pay them good money, so I.
Do you run an agency also yourself?
No, I had to get out of the agency in order to be able to do this. Obviously, as a captive agent with Liberty Mutual, it'd be a conflict of my contract to teach a State Farm agent how to kick ass.
Well, here's the catch, okay? I'm thinking where I heard. I think I heard it from Derek McCoy. He's an agent over in, I believe, Iowa with State Farm. Is there any way to check to see if that's actually where I heard from, or if he signed up?
Let's see here. I'll tell you what I can do. I can patch you over to Jonathan here, and Jonathan has more contact day to day with the clients than I do.
Sure.
So he would probably know better. Let's see.
I'm very interested in doing on this 12-week program. Starting next, sooner I started, more enthusiastic I'm going to be about it at that point. I just want to get some kind of confirmation or talk to somebody that says, hey, this is how it works. This is what it did for me. And, go from there at that point. And, it's like you say, a good reference is the best thing you can have, whether you're selling insurance or selling a program to sell insurance at that point.
Awesome. All right. I sent Jonathan your contact information. He'll be in touch with you here shortly.
Just tell him to leave his name, say this is Jonathan. Obviously, then I'll either I will be on a call, or I will, I'll be right with him at that point.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Great. Thank you.
Calling, Sean.
Bye-bye. That will close.